from San Francisco, California. This is the Rock and Roll Geek Show. This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name is Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Sunday, August 24th, 2025. It's 7:13 p.m. when I'm recording this. I'm going to open this is probably my third Modelo of the day. I took the grandkid to a taco, kind of like a memorial in-law thing up in Santa Rosa, and I am back now, and I am ready to do another Dog Days of Podcasting, day 24, dogdaysofpodcasting.com, rockandrollgeek.com, and this fourth beer of the day tastes the best so far. I think it is the best. Let me taste it again. Oh, yeah, that's good. So I'm doing the Dead Rockstar stories. Thank you for keeping them coming, friends. I really appreciate it. It makes me feel so good to know that I have people that are helping me out on these dog days. And I've got everybody's. I'm going to still do them. And I could use some more. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Record it into your phone and email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. I drove from Kennedy Meadows, where I played the gig yesterday. If you listened to last night's show with Craig Stepp, I had to upload that one on the fly. I don't know how it sounded because I was doing it on my phone, and I got complaints that the Chad Bushnell one was really quiet. So now I'm self-conscious when I do them on the backpack on the phone. So I made this one a little louder. Hopefully it's not overly modulating, but I don't know. Tell me if it was. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. This one, I'm not sure who this is from. I'm just going to randomly play it.
Good afternoon, Michael Butler. This is Chris Dash.
Oh, that's right, Chris Dash. Hello, Chris.
Bay Area Rock and Roll Usher. And when I think about it, there's actually two Bay Area Rock and Roll Ushers.
Ralph Miller sent me one today, too, a Gregg Kenner. I can't wait to do that one.
Hello, Ralph Miller.
Hello,
calling
Chad,
today.
Chris. Do you usher at the Saratoga Winery, Mountain Winery as well, Chris?
Good afternoon, Michael Butler. This is Chris Dash, the Bay Area Rock and Roll Usher. And when I think about it, there's actually two Bay Area Rock and Roll Ushers. Hello, Ralph Miller.
Hello, Chris.
Calling today to help out with the Dog Days of Podcasting,
friend.
When I realized I actually have a Dead Rockstar story. But first of all, how you doing today?
I'm super great.
That's great. Glad to hear it.
A little bit tired, but
so a number of years ago, my wife and I were on vacation, and we were traveling and decided to stop for a few days in New York City. We'd never been there. So we were staying in Times Square at a hotel in Manhattan. And as we were going into the hotel, got in the elevator to go up to our room, and I realized that as I was going into the elevator that Chris Squire of Yes was in the elevator with me.
Dead?
So about a month before that, I had happened to be in Seattle on work, and Yes had opened their 35th anniversary tour the night that I was there in Seattle. So I had walked up to the venue and bought a ticket and went to see them on their opening night of the 35th anniversary tour. So going up the elevator with Chris Squire, the Rickenbacker legend that he is,
yes, he is.
I couldn't help but ended up having to fanboy, and I turned around and said hello, and how much I had that I'd just seen them in concert in Seattle and how much I enjoyed the show. He kind of groaned and looked at me and rolled his eyes. He said,
Really?
"Oh, that was a terrible gig."
Oh, really? Huh?
Which kind of made me laugh, and I felt a little bit embarrassed by calling out an obvious clunker in their tour schedule. But I said, "Well, I really enjoyed it, and it's a privilege to meet you." And he was very nice. So we got out, and that was the end of it. But later that night, we'd seen him sitting at the bar with a woman that he was with, and back in my room,
I'm sure it was his
my
wife.
I was pawning and said, "I can't believe that I just met Chris Squire."
That's awesome.
And my wife said, "Listen, if you don't go down there right now and get his autograph, you will never forgive yourself." And I said, "I can't do that." She said, "Go
down
meet
there.
him.
You'll
go say
regret it."
hello." So I said, "Fine." So I grabbed a piece of
Let me guess. You cock-blocked him.
stationery, which is all I could find at the moment. Went down to the bar. Went down the down the elevator into the bar, and sure enough, he was sitting there. So I sheepishly walked up to him, and he was at the end of the bar, and I walked up and I said, Mr. Squire, I apologize for fanboying out, but I'm such a big Yes fan, and I would be gracious enough, would you give me your autograph? And one thing I remember you always saying, Michael Butler, if you want to make good with a rock star, go up to them when they're sitting next to a lady. That'll make them feel
there you go.
extra special. And I don't know if that was it, but he certainly was very gracious.
That's nice.
I did say, and this was the truth, because I normally, when I used to travel, I would carry a bag of CDs with me, and I'd usually have a few Yes CDs with me, and I didn't on that trip. So I embarrassedly said, I normally would have one of your CDs and bring it down and ask you to sign that, but I didn't bring any with me on this trip. And he laughed and he said, don't worry about it. Unlike John Anderson, I don't charge for autographs, which just made me howl at the thought of him throwing shade on his lead singer at the time.
I love it.
Anyway, he graciously signed my stationery that I'd brought down from the hotel, which I still have.
Chris, I'm not a huge Yes authority, so I hope you give me a song to play. Otherwise, I'm going to be playing a Chris Squire solo song.
And was very cordial. We shared a couple of words, and I thanked him, and it once again said how much I enjoyed the tour and what a fan I've been for all those years, and fanboyed out for a second. And he was very kind to allow me to do that, and had a bit of a chat. With that, I disappeared sheepishly, and to this day, I still have that autograph, and
awesome,
still really,
awesome. Great
really,
memory.
very, very happy that I got a chance to meet him as a big Yes fan all these years, and as a big bass head as well. He's such a legend there. So that's it. That's my story, my dead rock star story, and all these other stories are great. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for doing the dog days every year. We appreciate it. And stay frosty, my friend.
Stay frosty. You too can leave me a dead rock star story. Record it in your phone, email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, he didn't give me a request, so I'm just going to play something from Chris Squire. Thank you everybody for submitting these things, and please keep the donations coming. Let's see. Without your donation, what's my spiel again? Go to rockandrollgeek.com, hit the donate, or you can Venmo me at Michael-Butler-11. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death, and it's a value for value. I don't have any advertisers on this show. You are who I answer to, friends, and you are helping me out by doing these Dog Day submissions as well. rockandrollgeek.com, Twitter, R&R Geek, Patreon, R&R Geek, Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek, don't ask. Twitter, R&R Geek. Did I get all that? I think I got enough. All right. Here's Chris Squire from the album Fish Out of Water. This song is called Hold Out Your Hand. I'll talk to you tomorrow, friends.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck. It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.